Hey everyone, it's Asia Dang. Thank you again for joining me on my channel for another budget video. I do want to say thank you to everyone for your kind comments and words of encouragement from my last budget video. I definitely had a moment. And, some people think like it's easy to say, just look at how far you've come. And absolutely, like I am 100% grateful that I've been able to pay off $170,000 of student loans in less than 2 years. But I guess for me, that kind of thinking has stopped working, just because it is like paying off debt is like really difficult. I mean, we all know this. And then also paying that kind of amount so quickly makes me think that I should be, I guess, there already. So I think that's the part I'm struggling with, but also kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about. I have a couple things I want to talk about today, but one of them was after this video, someone on Twitter actually recommended I take this test. So his name, he tweeted me, Jonathan Garano, and he said, watching your video got me thinking. Basically, he told me to take this quiz on Empower, and Empower is another online banking company brand. I have a checking and a savings with them, but right now I only have about $100 in both of them, just because right now I don't really know what I want to do with Empower. So here's my Empower card, and I got it because the interest rate for savings is pretty good, but I have like 40 billion like online banking accounts. So I'm not really sure what I want to do with Empower yet. I'm going to think about it probably more seriously this month. But anyways, just so happens that this guy on Twitter told me to take this Empower quiz. And it's really interesting. This video is not sponsored by them, by the way, but I'll link the Empower quiz that I'm talking about in the description box, because it really, I think, gave me an understanding of why I am so kind of upset. Not upset, I don't want to say upset, but how me paying off so much debt but yet still being in debt is so highly unsatisfying to me. And if you take the quiz, which I took it like last month obviously, but I don't remember what kind of questions there are, but it's basically like kind of like what your money personality is. And I want to read you some talking points so maybe you kind of like understand how my money personality is. But anyways, I took the quiz. I am a stockpiler. But what the stockpiler means is what money means to you. You're not cheap, but you're not frugal. You have plenty of money to spend, but you don't see the point in wasting any of it. After all, isn't it better to have more money than you need to have? How to blame this all on your childhood is one of the things in the quiz. When you were growing up, financial security wasn't a guarantee, and being frugal came out of necessity. Your parents may have grown up in poverty or political instability and passed on that scarcity mentality to you, or maybe things were fine until an unexpected financial crisis like a parent's job loss or a divorce, a defining childhood moment that scared the shit out of you. You never internalized a feeling of abundance when it came to money, so you learned to hold tightly what you have. Money represents survival, and the more you have, the better. But yeah, my parents are divorced, and we had, I would say, I mean, this was like such a long time ago, but I would say that we had money, and then they got divorced, and then no one had any money. So there was a lot of definitely financial instability throughout, I would say, since maybe third grade, to the point where, my dad was talking about selling the house. We were talking about pulling me out of private school. And it was just like, there was just never enough money to go around, even though they always gave me what I needed and what I wanted. But I think I always instinctually knew that there was not enough money to go around, even though my parents didn't really make me feel that way, if it makes sense. But yes, definitely the divorce gave us an unexpected financial crisis. And then I've just never really had never after since that I never had a feeling of security when it came to finances, and that has since kind of played out in front of your eyes and stuff. And I don't want to be one of those people who like blame their like family's divorce on shit, because I'm totally fine. I have a great relationship with my parents, and I'm forever grateful for the sacrifices that they gave to me. But it wasn't until that quiz that I was like, holy shit, you're 100% right. This is why me, in my mind, me throwing all this money towards my debt, even though it is taking me towards financial security, in my mind, I'm thinking I could be buying a house. I could be, investing. I could be putting more money into my savings account or to the savings, like emergency fund for myself or for my dog. So it's just, I think that's kind of how I view it, and I didn't realize it until just now. So when everyone's saying like, you have to be grateful for, where you've come from, look at how far you've come, I totally get that. But for me, just I guess the way my mind works is, yeah, you've come a long way, but I'm seeing all this money being funneled into a place that I don't like. It's just out there now. I'm not really, in a sense, getting anything back from it, even though that's not true, because I will be debt free soon. Whereas if I were to put it in savings or into an account for investments or for a home, that's something that, one, I could see my money going to, and then two, would give me a better sense of financial stability. So I don't really know if that made sense. When I read this, I was like, wow, okay, that makes sense. That's why I feel the way I feel about money. So it was very eye-opening. If you do want to take the quiz, which I don't even know what other options there was. I actually wonder, I'd be interested if Brian took the quiz to see what his money personality is, because we're very different in that sense. But take it for fun. Maybe you'll learn something about yourself. And yeah, anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. Thought it was kind of fun. Again, it was eye-opening. Link will be in the description box if you want to test it out, as well as a link to just Empower in general if you want to check them out as well. Okay, and while we're talking about financial apps, I haven't done an update on my Capital app. For those of you who are new, Capital is what I use for my food spending, and also for kind of like my like mini financial goals that I want to save up for. So we saved up for the doggy dentist, we saved up for laser treatments, we saved up for a really amazing dining experience at Somni. So those are all 3 accomplishments that I have financially saved during my debt-free process. And then the last one on my app is actually a destination wedding for next summer for one of my friends in Mexico. And so far, out of $5,000, we've saved $3,800. So we're almost there. But yeah, haven't done an update on Capital in a long time. I'll link them in the description box as well if you want to check it out. And I have an entire video about how I use the Capital app. Again, this video is not sponsored by them, but I'll link them in the cards as well. Another thing is I didn't spend too much money on kind of work stuff, but we did launch the Adopt Don't Shop merchandise line. Here's one of the shirts, and I had to spend money for a photographer. We tried to keep the overhead down because proceeds, 10% of proceeds does go to, this launch, it goes to Animal Hope and Wellness, and then also Ghetto Rescue Foundation. So we're going to split the 10% in half. And so we tried to keep overhead down, but I did have to spend some money on a photographer and a studio, and then kind of just shipping stuff for the merch. I do want to thank every one of you who supported the cause and bought merchandise. On Monday, yesterday, we were actually able to, we didn't sell out, but we were able to donate $1,000 to each organization because of your purchases. So I really appreciate you. $1,000 really does save a life. So I just like am so grateful for you guys believing in the Adopt Don't Shop merch, and just know that you have helped single-handedly save a life. So check it out in the description box if you would like to see the other shirts, and then if there's any sizes. I think we have about 50 shirts left, and I'm not going to restock. So yeah, I'm really happy. And also, let me do some things over here, but I used 4 doggy models who are up for adoption and for this merch launch, and I wanted to just give them some extra love. We did have 1 adoption since we launched the merch. Tiger was adopted. He is a puppy, major puppy energy, but he was adopted. Some of the other dogs that are still up for adoption, if you are looking for one, here's Barney. He's a puppy, but his energy is very calm and soothing and mature for his age. He was rescued from Iran from an abuse case, and he actually only has 3 legs because of that, but he's safe in Los Angeles and is an amazing dog. And then we have Lollipop. Lollipop is so cute. She's a grandma, so if you're looking for a dog who is older and more calmer and just wants to be held and maybe go outside to pee every once in a while, she's your dog. She was dumped at a shelter with rheumatoid arthritis, so she does need medication, which isn't very expensive, and she can strut herself on grass and stuff, but obviously with her deformation she can't walk too much, but she does come with the stroller. So as someone who actually has a dog stroller, it helps a lot. And then my personal favorite, in all honesty, if I had the room, like if we had a house with a yard, I would have already adopted Stark. Like, I loved him. He's a puppy. He is in dog meat, Asian dog meat survivor. He was actually found hung by his legs at the dog meat, and they rescued him. So now he actually, again, another dog with 3 legs. I think it's his front right had to be amputated because of that, but he has all this energy and all this love. Stark, again, I still think about him to this day. He does need to be trained. He is a very strong pit bull, but very calm, very sweet. He loves a belly rub, but he does need to be trained on a leash because he pulls, but not aggressive. There is not an aggressive bone in his body, despite what he's been through. So all those dogs are available at Animal Hope and Wellness still. And if you want to learn more about Animal Hope and Wellness, the merch, Ghetto Rescue Foundation, please go ahead and check out my website. We still again have a few items left to ship or left for you to purchase, and if we sell out, we can give more money to these amazing foundations, so check it out. I also do want to say about the merch is that the reason why you don't see kind of like a merchandise line in my income is because I don't take an income from the merch I sell. If anything, I just cross my fingers and hope I break even. And then I say I'm donating 10% to charity, but it's normally more. And then any money I have left over, I just put it back into kind of like my business account for the next launch. So I actually don't take an income from my merch, which is why if you're looking through my budget, there's no merch line in my income budget. So just wanted to say that. So health insurance, I talked about this last month. I tried to actually get new health insurance before canceling my old one because, again, I'm paying $592 or $96 a month for health insurance, and it's just so stupid and it's such a lot of money. But you guys said don't cancel your current health insurance until you have a new one, and I tried to get a new one through what's that one? Through the Affordable Care Act, that's what it's called. But I am not eligible. I have to wait, I think, until December. Open enrollment begins October 15th. Oh, this month. Okay, great. I thought it was December for some reason. So open enrollment begins October 15th and ends January 15th, 2020. To start coverage by January 1st, apply by January 15th. So I'm not eligible to apply for health insurance now, but I guess on October 15th, I can go ahead and do that. And then I asked one of my girlfriends who actually works for this app called GoodRx to help me figure out what kind of health insurance would be best for me. So I'm just gonna, once I talk to her about it and I get my new health insurance, I'm gonna cancel my SAG $596 per month health insurance, because that is so stupid. I cannot believe that's how much I'm paying for health insurance right now. And then I'll tell you guys, I guess for next month's budget, what I ended up going with. So if you don't have health insurance or you want to change your coverage with Covered California, so Affordable Care Act, I think those are the same things. I'm not exactly sure. But with Covered California, open enrollment begins October 15th. So set your alarm. It lasts until January 15th, but I guess the sooner you get that, the better, right? But Brian and I, starting October 15th, are going to try to do this fitness program through our training gym, F45. It's an 8-week program of just kind of cleansing your body of food and toxins and then just working out. But anyways, I'm telling you this because I think for the first 3 weeks when the food restriction is really intense, I'll be actually doing a food delivery service to make my life a little easier and to hopefully push me to complete something for the first time in my life. So I am going to be really interested to see if it actually ends up, the food delivery service actually ends up being more affordable in the long run than just me normally paying for groceries for the family and then eating out when I don't want to have time to, when I'm like too lazy to cook and all that stuff. So I think I'm only going to do it for 3 weeks. So that will be reflected in my budget. Again, really interested to see how the food delivery, the pros and cons for that financially and environmental wise, kind of balance itself out with what I've been doing up to this point. So that's it. Yeah, so far. Oh, basically, I'm almost totally missed the most important part of this video, is that we are finally under $30,000 left of student loan debt. So we have, I think I paid $6,000 to my loans in the month of September. So we are at $27,000 left. I have a couple big paychecks coming up. Update on ASICs. We are waiting for that payment. Apparently it should be coming in this week. However, and this is the thing that really upset me, and I really didn't want to bring up ASICs ever again because I just don't want to deal with them anymore. But they are going to pay me what I'm owed, but they're not going to pay me interest on them not paying me for 2 years. And that really fucking pissed me off. And of course, I'm not going to drag them to court or, be very pushy about that because I just want my goddamn money. But could you imagine if I had $50,000 of interest for my grad school loans because I deferred 2 years. Could you imagine if I said to them, sorry, I don't have that money. Can't pay you, don't have that money. And that was the excuse ASICs gave us to not giving us interest. They don't have the money. I cannot tell you how fucking disappointing that is. So I'm never working with, we already knew this. I'm never working with ASICs. I'm not going to talk about them after this month, unless for some reason they don't pay me, which, but not going to support them ever again. And I think the fact that they said, sorry, can't pay you interest on what we didn't pay you for 2 years is just a fucking stab in the heart, because I'm paying off my interest. I've been doing that. So you, as a multi-$100 million brand, doesn't have interest for 2 years of not paying someone that you owed. I don't know. That really pissed me off. But we're getting money. We're getting the money. We're getting what they owed me at the very least, but fuck them. Anyways, hopefully I will have some amazing news for you for the November budget, because if everything goes planned, I think I might be able to knock down my student loan payment the next time I see you to close to $10,000. I think I can do that. So everyone, wish me luck. Cross your fingers. Please pray to whoever you pray to that Asia gets paid on time. That would be amazing. And yeah, the struggle of freelance, I guess. But thank you so much for watching. Any comments, concerns, questions, let us know in the comment section. And I hope I covered everything, but I will see you guys next month.